Have really intelligent questions this week. So, what a phenomenal performance by our young men, and just really just ecstatic for them. Very pleasing to see us go out and play a complete ball game like that. That's what we talked about all week, and then that was the big emphasis today when we met. Was we went through each piece of the game, playing a complete 4 quarters. And we talked about the middle 8, finishing the first half and starting the second half well. And then, the big emphasis was the fourth quarter, just putting a team away. And yeah, we had a good lead going to the fourth, but just really wanted to play well in the fourth, which we did. And so just could not be more pleased with the performance of the kids.
Coach, obviously turnovers and field position played a huge role.
Well, when we met first thing this morning, I said a few key things. I said the conditions are going to be awful tonight. Whichever team does the best job with the ball. And not just offense, special teams, defensively. Whoever does the best job with the ball is going to win the ball game. And we talked about it's probably going to be, a game where, we got a chance with our special teams because we've been playing pretty well on special teams. We have a chance to really, impact the game heavily with our special teams. And it's one thing to talk about that stuff, but then to see us go out and do it was very pleasing.
First shutout for ECU in 23 years. When you hear that, what kind of goes through your mind?
It's fantastic. I'm glad I was part of it. I'm glad these kids are part of it. It's good to get. We've had a couple that were close the last couple of years, but it's it feels good to get it.
And you talked about finishing the game, but you often see a team score at the end, but you guys really didn't even let them get into the red zone.
I got a little nervous. We had guys in there that hadn't taken a whole lot of reps all year, so. But it's good to see them. Jamari Young had the big tackle for a loss as his first career tackle. He was ecstatic. It's good to see those kids get a chance to get in there. Raheem got in there and blew the first read he had. I told him it was a very selfish decision right there. He's supposed to pitch the ball, and he kept it on the quarterback counter. But it's that experience for those guys. I'm glad we were able to get them those reps.
On a day like this where the weather was what it was, just getting that running game going, was that just that much more important for you guys?
Oh, I thought I'm telling you, that's a good defensive team over there. They have played a lot of teams very, very well. We talked about what they did against App, Coastal, and Liberty last year. All those guys started last year. It's a good group, and so for our offensive line to go out there and establish, the control of the line of scrimmage from the jump. It was from the jump that we were running the ball pretty well. So it was really good to get the backs going, get Rajay going, getting Javius going, and then Camaro. I thought he gave us a spark there in the second half.
Penalties have kind of been something that's held you guys back in the last couple of weeks, but tonight hasn't looked the part by any means. Was there a big emphasis this week in the discipline or just understanding the
I ran the snot out of them on Sunday. But that's much better tonight. Okay? And 3 of those, 2 of them was on the kicker because he can't look at the flags and tell which way the wind's blowing, and one's on the quarterback needs to get the ball across the line of scrimmage on the intentional grounding. So, you figure 2 penalties. One was the holding at the end on K. He'll be ecstatic about that tomorrow. But, so pretty clean night really by our offense and defense and special teams. So that's a big improvement.
What did you think of the quarterbacks, both Alex and Mason, getting a shot?
Well, I thought they both did some good things. The ball was really, really slick. So it was tough to throw it. I thought Alex did a really good job of decision making. A couple of those throws were tough. We couldn't get dry balls in there quick enough. But I thought Mason came in and gave us a real spark. I thought he ran the offense very well. We worked all week on the things that we were doing with him tonight with the quarterback run, because we thought that might be something we had to do against that defense. But I thought he threw the ball really well on the RPOs and the bootlegs and all that stuff. So pleased with the way both of them played.
And Jalen made some big plays to move the chains on third down, getting him in space. How good was that to see?
Yeah, and we missed him a couple of times. It was good because he wants to be great, and he's been a little frustrated with himself because he's made some big plays, but he's had some opportunities to make some big plays and didn't. But it was good to see him get going. Really good to see Josiah make the play on the post route. So that was really good. So yeah, I'm happy for those guys.
Coach, you talked about getting a bunch of guys into the game. How special is it to see a couple first touchdowns on the night?
Oh, yeah. Javius Bond. So he's got to learn the fight song. All right. So we had him lead the team in the fight song. He got up there and he was like just blare-eyed. So it's good to see him get in the end zone. Good to see Camaro get in the end zone. It was good to see a lot of firsts tonight.
you guys obviously got a lot of turnovers, but you guys made them count a lot of the times, just being able to score after that. I mean, how big is that just to be able to take advantage and do something with those turnovers?
That's the key to it. I mean, if you don't, you're wasting great opportunities. And we did waste a couple right there before halftime, but I'll reiterate that it was messy out there. So, by the way, our field was in great shape. Joey doesn't get enough credit. That thing, considering how much rain we got, to have as good of a track as we had, I mean, it says a lot about the hard work he puts in around here.
Defensively, did you like kind of the speed of your defense going into tonight to kind of neutralize them, and how do you feel like they played?
Well, and I felt like we were able to keep them from really getting the tempo going. And that's the key, is don't give them a whole bunch of positive plays. And even when they did try tempo, I thought we handled it very well. And so I thought we did a lot of good things outside the ball tonight.
Did you encourage your guys to attack the ball more, knowing how wet it was going to be out there, or was
Well,
that kind of just a reflection of the turnover drill that you guys work on all the time?
What we talked about, we do work it a lot, but what we talked about was just being very, very physical with our tackling, and especially the second guy in. You try to do a great job topping off those ball carriers. So I just thought, again, I think the physicality and the aggressiveness of the way our defensive guys were playing, contributed a lot to those turnovers.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, how excited are you for peanut butter pie tomorrow?
Absolutely. Winter's dinner Sunday night, peanut butter pie for dessert. So that's a good weekend. Have a great night.